Yes, teacher, I didn't want to break your word. Because of that, I wrote.
You didn't want to cut off my conversation, but that's okay. So yeah, thanks so much. Okay, so again, so guys, let me summarize the given information. So these, reports in task 1 have 2 instructions that candidates should follow. The first instruction is describe the given information. And the second instruction is make comparisons where relevant. Sometimes candidates either miss the descriptions, just focus only making comparisons. Sometimes they give descriptions of the data, but forget about comparing. But, there is no one method to describe and making comparisons. Your comparisons and descriptions might be different from other candidates. However, only when you have both, you are the best candidate. Okay, so in this picture, you can talk about the table in body part 1 and body part 2, the bar graph. Or maybe vice versa, you should talk about, for instance, bar graph in body part 1 and body part 2, the table. However, I personally wouldn't find it effective because it doesn't allow me to make good comparisons. However, when I write body part 1, talking about South Korea, for instance, in 2001, South Korea reported 122, which was closely followed by United States of America. Okay, the other 3 countries were at low rates, with Britain, the lowest point. But over 1 year, lots of things changed, or the trends changed significantly. And again, coming back to South Korea, but when you go from 2001 to 2002, these numbers, please add this percentage as well. Saying
yeah,
that.
I would like, teacher, yes, say that, can we add, for example, let's take South Korea. It was 122, and it increased 20% and reached at 134.4.
Exactly, not reached that, but reached 134.4. Yes, exactly. But so what is my instruction was, my construction actually was that body part 1, 2001, and all countries. Body part 2, increase, decrease stability from 2001 to 2002 by adding the table at the same time. Okay, so this is how you divide body part 1 and body part 2. Body part 1, again, 2001. But body part 2, from 2001 to 2002, plus the table, how much they increased.
Can I ask something, teacher?
Yeah, sure, yeah, here you go.
Body part 1, just we will mention the, let's say, percentage or connection for people only, and the names of the countries. This one?
Okay, so, yeah, so look, Ravana, body part 1 is going to be about 2001. It means bar graph. And in the bar graph, there is no percentage. Okay, so do you see the percentage here, any percentage?
No.
So this is why you are going to say something like that. In 2001, the highest rate was reported in South Korea.
Okay, I would
accounting
like
for, yes, 122, which was followed by United States of America. But the low rates, don't say lowest rates, guys.
Low rates.
Low rates, yes, because lowest is going to be Britain, 3.3. Okay. Yes. All right. Now, let's see how you write body part 1.
Hi, Mr. John.
Hello, Yusuf. How are you?
I'm sorry, I had internet issues.
Okay. So, Yusuf, I'm recording the lesson on the screen, and at the end of the lesson, I'm going to share it with you. And any of you guys, if you need this recording, please let me know. I can send it to you as well. All right, now get your paper, please. And just write introduction overview and show how you write one introduction and one overview for both pictures.
Mm.
Do you see the screen clearly?
Yes. Introduction.
Introduction and overview. Hey guys, how are you doing? You fine?
Okay.
Yes.
only introduction and overview, but nothing else.
It is so hard.
Is it?
I think so.
But I wouldn't say.
I think it's not that hard.
Yeah. It's only paraphrasing the topic and saying
No,
something.
I don't mean the introduction and overview. I mean like the charts, body parts.
Maybe you want to say if these graphs appeared in the real exam, you would get stuck there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so after looking at introduction overview, I'm going to open a Word file here on my screen and write body parts step by step to show how I would go.
Thanks.
Okay, so guys, now let's listen to our introduction overview, share our samples, and I would like to start with Ilhama. Hello, Ilhama. You connected?
Yes, of course.
Ilhama, what was the name of your internet provider?
Name, Katabe.
It's quite good because over this period that we've been doing online classes, I haven't seen any disconnection.
Yeah.
So God forbid, gözlemesin. There is no this feeling in English psychology, so they only say God forbid. Okay, can you video introduction and overview, please?
Of course. The line graph illustrates data on the number of connection per 1,000 people in 5 countries, while the table shows the change between 2001 and 2002 by percentages.
By percentage. Okay, overview.
Overall, it's crystal clear that USA and South Korea were at the top of the list in both years. Obviously, Britain exceeded the others in terms of the percentage change.
Obviously, sorry.
Obviously, Britain exceeded the others in terms of the percentage change.
Oh, okay. Britain. Okay, so then you could say, yeah, you're right, actually. Yes, you're right. So this is a good, yeah. For instance, I would also say something like that. Overall, all countries, I mean, all countries experienced an upward trend in the percentage rate or in the percentage. Also, so it is obvious that South Korea and United States were topping the list, whereas the other countries, okay, so topping the, yes, great, lovely. Okay, Ravana, can you read your intro? Thanks so much, Ilhama. Ravana, can you read your introduction and
Sure.
overview, please?
The provided diagrams reveals a statistical breakdown about the high-speed lasting internet connection of 5 countries, namely South Korea, USA, Germany, Switzerland, and Britain, over 1 year. I didn't write this. Can I write, teacher?
Okay, so in this
From
case, guys,
2001 and 2002, but I didn't write.
so let me give you one specific trick. So when you are not sure and inconfident to say this
Don't
or
try.
that, it would be better to write what is given. For instance,
yeah, I mean this one, teacher, but our period is short, that's why I didn't mention this.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So I always saying that, feel like when we practice something, feel like you're in the real exam on the test day, and you can't make a decision, and I'm not there.
Okay.
So just immediately copy paste the given years, but the correct answer to your question is to write as given. But in a paraphrased way, like in the period 2001, 2002 hyphen. Or you could say like that simply, in the years 2001 and 2002, simply, okay, don't kill yourself.
Okay.
Right,
the units
overview.
are measured, yes, the units are measured in percentage. Overall, it is clear that South Korea and USA were the highest rate, while others were low rate. And obviously, South Korea exceeded others in terms of internet connection, whereas Britain was the least in 2001.
Oh, why did you say in 2001? You shouldn't give, you shouldn't give the overall, you shouldn't give the overall ideas about the first year. Okay, so you should talk about the result. Result,
okay,
for instance, result is
without,
2002.
Yes, without year, it is okay, teacher?
No, look, when you say that the highest and the lowest, then you have to clarify which year.
But I wrote the year.
But you say 2001. But I'm saying that in the overview, if you have 1, 2, 3, 5 years, okay, or 2 years, it doesn't matter. In the overview, you should talk about the result, final period. I mean, 2002, not 2001.
Okay, again, in 2002, it's also the lowest Britain.
Okay, so in 2002, no Britain, it's Germany.
No? Yeah.
The lowest is Germany. Okay, so in 2001, United States reported the highest rate, while Germany was at the lowest rate. Obviously, although all countries experience upward trend in percentage, Britain exceeded the others, as Ilhama said. Britain exceeded the others by a dramatic difference or by a dramatic disparity, because 250 is a sense of disparity. I mean, big difference. Right. Again, guys, so keeping in mind that in the overview, when you want to say highest and lowest, and you have years like 2001, 2002, 2003, whatever, but don't say the first year. Always look at the final year, because in real life, we are always interested in the result, the final result of something. Hey, so what is the result of something, okay? So this is what 2002 should be in the overview. Well, Yusuf, can you read your introduction? Thanks so much, Irvana. Yusuf, can you read
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
introduction overview,
Yes,
please?
of course. The chart reveals a statistical breakdown about the high-speed continuous internet connection of households in 5 different countries, namely South Korea, USA, Germany, Switzerland, and Britain, over a 1-year period from 2001 to 2002. Overall, it is evident that Britain saw the most significant change in the number of families who accessed the high-speed internet. In
So
addition,
also, again, can you say again?
which one?
Also, or also, you said something like that.
No. I
Last
said
sentence.
last sentence. Okay. The most significant change in the number of families who access the high-speed internet. Overall, it is evident that Britain saw the most significant change in the number of families who accessed the high-speed internet. In addition, the percentage of families with high-speed internet connection was highest in South Korea and USA during that period.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, thanks so much. Well, Ilke, can you read your introduction overview, please?
Me?
Ilke, yes.
Yes. The provided chart reveals a statistical breakdown about the high-speed I couldn't read this word.
Continues.
A continuous internet connection of households in 5 countries, namely South Korea, USA, Germany, Switzerland, and Britain, over 1-year period from 2001 to 2002. Overall, it is crystal clear that while South Korea and USA exceeded the others in terms of high-speed continuous internet connection, Britain, do I have to say although, or I don't have to say, but I want to say only Britain got the highest percentage change.
Maybe you can put this information in a single sentence.
Okay, but Britain exceeded the others in percentage change.
Yeah. Okay. So you can say like that. While South Korea and USA exceeded the others in terms of number of or connection numbers, Germany remained the lowest. Obviously, Britain reported the highest disparity or the highest percentage change in comparison with the other countries in the survey. All right, good. Shala, did you read your introduction overview?
Yes.
I don't think so.
The provided by graph reveals a statistical breakdown about number of users of high-speed continuous internet connection users in 5 various countries, namely South Korea, USA, Germany, Switzerland, and Britain in 2001 and 2002, with the table giving this information in percentage.
Amazing. So this is a nice way to join one picture to another, saying with the table showing the percentage change in these countries. Okay, with plus the table which shows, with plus for instance, with the graph shows, sorry, with the graph showing, with the pie chart, for instance, revealing, okay? So which is a great preposition to join two pictures. Right, so go on, please.
Overall, it's clear that all countries experience an upward trend, and it's also clear that while South Korea and USA were dominant in high-speed internet connection, in number of high-speed internet connection users, Britain witnessed the highest. I make mistakes there.
Maybe Germany. Germany
no.
reported the lowest rate.
No, after Ilham says, I changed and write like her. I want to mention that Britain witnessing the highest increase in percentage.
But I mean, this information is not in parallel with what is said in the first part of the complex sentence. For instance, you were saying that South Korea and United States exceeded the others, right?
Yes.
Okay, then put either full stop and start a new sentence adding that information, Britain, or if you want to continue, please don't speak about Britain yet. Just say, for instance, while South Korea and United States exceeded the others, the rate for Germany was the least, right? So evidently, and now a new sentence, evidently Britain reported the highest percentage change in comparison with the other countries given in the survey. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Right, because if you compare, for instance, if you compare
number of people and percentage.
Yeah, if you compare numbers, just compare numbers. Well, good. So who left? Kenan, hello. Can you read your introduction overview, please?
Sure. Yes, the provided chart reveals a statistical breakdown about the high-speed continuous internet connection of households in 5 countries, namely South Korea, USA, Germany, Switzerland, Britain, between 2001 and 2002. Overall, it's crystal clear that all of the countries experienced an upward trend, and USA beat South Korea with a big difference and became the highest rate in this chart. But the highest
not with biggest difference. Maybe do you mean this big difference?
There's a big difference.
Yeah. Okay.
134 and 251. That's why.
Okay. So yes, I got what you mean exactly.
Yeah, but the highest percentage of change was in Britain, and the low change was in Germany. That's all.
No, those change is not in Germany, in South Korea.
Yeah, sorry.
So while the highest percentage change was reported in Britain, was recorded, I mean, the lowest was recorded in South Korea.
South Korea, okay, I will change.
Good. Yeah, this is another good way to give the comparison. So who left there? Who didn't read introduction overview? Okay. Now, guys, let's look at the given sample. Actually, this is not my sample. The candidate who wrote this sample, I do believe that is really good at math or maybe basic arithmetic skill. So let's see. Okay, so the bar graph, I mean, the introduction overview are given in 2 separate sections. That is not my style today. It used to be in the past, but I would put both of them in one paragraph. Okay. Ravana, can you read both, please?
Okay. The bar chart and table compare 5 countries in terms of percentage of families with high-speed internet access and the change over 2 consecutive years from 2001 to 2002. It is clear that the percentage of families with high-speed internet connection was highest in South Korea and the USA during those years. In addition, the biggest change in number of families with high-speed internet access occurred in Britain.
So guys, this candidate says the percentage of families with high-speed internet access. Yes, this is another way of paraphrasing, but it's a bit risky because not all examiners accept it. Because bar graph is given in number by number, while table is given by percentage. Okay, so also it says in the overview.
Sorry for interrupting, but we wrote there that the units are measured in percentage and per people or per numbers. How we can write this correctly or
so is okay. The unit in the table is given by percentage, while the other is given in number per 1,000 people.
Okay, it's clear now. Yeah. Thank you.
So, but what I don't like, or maybe I like, but it's a bit again saying that risky because percentage of families, it is not as given in the bar graph. So I wouldn't write percentage because no one has given me percentage in the bar graph. Okay, or maybe the examiner. So examiners are qualified, are trained in the academic writing, not math or chemistry or physics. So this is why your examiner who is going to check your paper might not have good math and can't convert number to percentage. Okay, so this is why please don't risk your paper. Well, Ilhama, can you read this paragraph, please?
Yes. In 2001, about 11.2% of South Korean households had access to high-speed internet, compared to 9.3% of US families.
Okay, now,
1 year later.
Sorry,
okay.
Ilhama. So as you see, guys, here, bar graph says in 2001, it was 122 per 1,000. Of course, no one expects you to show math skills there, no one. However, this guy who wrote this sample calculated and found out that 122 in 2001 makes out 11, not actually 11, it's 12.2%. Now, hopefully, maybe it's about 11.2. Elvin, are you there? Elvin is.
Yes,
Elvin,
I'm here.
so do you have good math?
I guess so.
Okay, do you think that 122 makes out 11.2%?
No.
No.
I think
11 and 22 is like 100%, and 134 is like increased. I don't know by how much percent.
I think that it should be 1,000 people.
12%. Yeah, exactly 12%.
See, yeah. Look, guys, 1,000 people is 100%. So 122 is X. So this is basic. Just a second. Let me just open. Let me show myself. As if I'm good at math, as if.
But Mr. Ceyhun, how do you know that?
0.4 difference percent.
Elvin, you were saying something. How do you know what?
Yeah, how do you know that 1,000 people is like 100%?
Because 1,000 people is given as unit measurement.
Yeah, one.
But we cannot say that it is 1,000.
Maybe you don't, but I say.
Okay.
I'm joking, but really it is kind of 1,000. I mean, according to this, according to this bar graph, 1,000 is 100%, because everything stops here, 1,000 people.
X. Yeah.
All people know this basic calculation.
Yeah.
Ilhama. So this is why I didn't go to the other groups while entering university, because I stopped my math here. So it's make out like this: 10 to 2, then this, then this. Okay, and it makes out something like this.
0.2.
Yeah.
12.2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay, so no one actually expects you to come up with these basic arithmetic skills. But if you can calculate, it's a bit risky because your examiner might be as dumb as I am, okay?
Yeah.
So maybe I have finished math here, I stopped my math here, but examiner a bit below, okay? So this is why don't risk your paper with confusing calculation. I make sure, guys, for instance, this sample who wrote this paper can take, for instance, 5.5, but after reassessing a request, that paper would soar from 5.5 to 7 because of examiner who has no math skills in calculation. All right, so I wouldn't risk my paper. Or maybe I can show how I calculated it. Is it clear? For instance, while saying that 12.2%, I would show that, okay, so I calculated something like this, okay, something like that, and yeah.
Do we need this teacher or
So
the examiner? Does the examiner need this now?
So you don't need to say bar chart in percentage. Just a second, sorry, just a second, guys. I'm terribly sorry, guys. Okay, so Alhama, can you continue? Do you see the screen?
No.
No.
Word document.
Only Word document.
That's your calculation, teacher.
My calculation, yeah. So go on, please.
1 year later, the number of US families with high-speed internet soared by 170% to reach 25.11% of the population, which was the highest figure of all measured countries for those years.
Again, saying that, guys, this candidate say the number soared by 170%, so it is wrong. Is it clear? You shouldn't say number increased by this. You should say the proportion of something increased by this percentage. Because number cannot be percentage. Okay, to reach 25.11.
He again converted the numbers to percentages in a line graph.
As you say, yes, it's a bit, again, saying that if you're looking at here, this candidate has tried to say this here, okay? All right, so which was the highest figure of all measured countries for those years? Okay, go on, please.
By contrast, the growth rate was significantly lower in South Korea at only 20%.
Okay, so this paragraph is talking about South Korea and United States because they are at the top of the list.
Dominant.
Dominant, yes, dominant countries. But second paragraph is talking about the lowest countries. Okay, you see how this candidate has divided paragraphs into two sections. So paragraph one is, body part one is highest countries, body part two is lowest countries. Okay, for instance, this is one possible method, but a bit risky, again, because of the calculation in body part 1. A bit risky. However, if your examiner, for instance, has a good skill in math, so then you're lucky because you know how to calculate and play with numbers. Okay, so Ilham, can you read next and last paragraph,
Yes.
please?
A high-speed internet was not as common in Germany, Switzerland, and Britain, with only roughly 0.35% of households having a high-speed connection.
Yeah. So again, calculation here and saying that all these 3 countries had kind of low rates of internet connection at around 0.35%. All 3 countries.
All 3 countries saw significant increases over the year, with Germany and Switzerland witnessing increases of 80% and 120 respectively. Meanwhile, Britain saw the biggest growth rate in high-speed internet connection, with a 230% increase.
Okay, so last time I said something about it, but again want to saying something again about this change. So do you see the Word document on the screen again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of a matter of grammar, but anyway, you have to know this. So if you say, for instance, an increase, and you want to show the difference, then you should say, for instance, of 30%. But at the same time, if you want to show the beginning and ending points as well, then you should say, for instance, from example, 90% to, for instance, 120%, because the difference is 30%. And in a sentence should be like that. There was an increase, an increase of 30% in the, for instance, rate of something from 90% to 100%. So in this case, you have to use a noun. But if you want to mention, if you want to write a verb, then it should be like that. The rate increased by, or maybe you don't need to say by, just simply say the number. Okay, so by 30%, from 90% to 120%. Okay, so but if you say, look here, if you say, for instance, of 30%, so it's going to be wrong. All right. But guys, so I forgot to mention it. So this sentence can be paraphrased as like this as well. There was a 30% increase. So this is also natural way of showing the disparity. There was a 30% increase from 90% to 120%. Okay, so this is also possible. All right. Ilka, are you connected? Hello, Ilka. Hello. Do you see Ilka on the screen? No, Ilka has disappeared. Yusuf, are you connected?
Yeah, I'm connected.
Toro, how about you? Hello, Toro.
Hi.
Okay. So guys, please don't sleep, okay? I know that you want to sleep, but I want it more than you want, okay? So, okay, my body parts would be like this. So body part, Ilka, hello.
Hi, teacher. Sorry, the internet connection lost. I came
Yeah, I
again.
see that you've got a frequent disconnection, so you can talk to Ilham at the end of the lesson about the car TV, ATV. Okay, so Ilka, body part 1 in my method would be about 2001, which will allow me to describe and make comparisons among countries. Okay, so body part 1 is going to be bar chart, not table. So you shouldn't say anything about the table, okay? Okay, so like this, as is presented, traditionally we say like this, in the bar chart. In 2001, but we have to mention the number, I mean year. In 2001, what happened in 2001? Okay, let me just look at my,
highest
just a second. Okay, so yes, here. So in 2001, South Korea reported 122 connections. Followed, South Korea having the
highest, yes.
largest number, exactly, reported 122, followed by USA at 93. Okay, 93. So guys, you don't need to say per 1,000 people, because in the overview, you will already say the measurement unit or unit of measurement is per 1,000 and by percentage. Okay, so this is why in the body parts, you don't need to say always per 1,000 people, per 1,000 people. Okay, so don't say. Well, okay, so the other nations in the survey, for instance, recorded around 3, or you can say recorded between 3 and 4.
4. It would be better. Some of them higher.
Okay, so but what happened in the second paragraph?
You see, became first.
The body part 2 is going to talk about approach 1. Do you remember approach 1?
Yes.
Increase, decrease, and stability or stability. Okay, plus table. So something like this. So
as regards, yes,
in the following 1 year, for instance, trend for South Korea increasing by 20%, rows 2, okay. The USA, however, not however, so USA revealing a growth of 170%, climbed to and exceeded the others. Okay, well, whereas the other nations, so for instance, a dramatic rise, stayed at the bottom of the list in comparison. In comparison, it should be mentioned that Britain, in terms of percentage change, noticed the biggest disparity of 230%. Okay, so you can go on something like this. So this is how you bottom of the, okay, stayed at the bottom of the comparisons. Okay, so, or maybe you can add this sentence as well. Well, so Germany
With the Germany being the lowest, for example.
exactly being the lowest, maybe not being, maybe Germany showing the lowest number at 5 point okay, like this. It should also be mentioned that Britain, in terms of percentage change, noticed the biggest disparity of 230%. Okay. Yeah, like this. So guys, another method would be something like that. So body part 1, 2001, body part 2, 2001 to 2002, but both of them should be bar chart. This is also bar chart. And body part 3 is going to be table. So this is also possible. So don't think it's going to be too much, no, because anyway, the information given in both pictures So looks really small amount. Okay, it's not going to be over 230. Yeah, but this is another method, and you can use it as well. Have you got any questions? Okay, is it clear now?